John 2:10. Et dicit ei omnis homo primum bonum vinum ponet, et cum inebriati fuerint, tunc id quod deterius est. Tu servasti bonum vinum usquad huc. And he says to him, every man or every person first sets out the good wine, and when they will have become drunk, then that which is worse. You have saved the good wine up until now. This is a continuation of the conversation that began in the last verse between the architriclinus, the master of the feast, and the sponsus, the bridegroom at the wedding. So the subject of dicit is the architriclinus, and ei is the sponsus. And of course, we've got ei in the dative case as usual, following dicit in the Gospel of John. Omnis homo, here we begin a quotation, and we might add a period here. And in this quotation, we're going to be talking about our wine at the wedding. Every person first, ponet, sets out the good wine. That's the first thing that he does. Primum here is not modifying bonum vinum, although it might look like it. This is an adverb. At first, at the first moment, sets out the good wine. And when, and this cum is going to introduce a general indicative temporal clause when something happens. There's no idea of concession or causality or anything like that, which often would require the subjunctive in classical and later Latin. Cum inebriati fuerint, future perfect indicative, when they will have become drunk. And you can see, of course, where our English derivative from this word comes from. Tunc, as opposed, remember, to nunc, which means now. Tunc, at that time, that is after the guests have become drunk, that which is worse. Well, here we've got to understand ponet again. He sets out, that is every person at a wedding who's in charge of these things, sets out that wine which is worse. Deterius is an adjective in the comparative degree. It actually only exists in the comparative and superlative degrees. The positive degree, which we've got sort of to reconstruct, was probably something like deter, but you don't really see that anymore already in the time of classical Latin. So we only see this in the comparative and superlative. And here it's neuter singular nominative in this relative clause starting at quad, which is the worse kind of wine. Deterius modifying vinum. Tu servasti, here we have a syncopation. That is an abbreviation of a longer word, which is actually servavisti, second person singular, perfect active indicative from servo, servare. Bonum vinum, we see again here, and then usquad hoc means up until now, up until the present time.